Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new live stream. Hope you're all having a great day. Now, we have an action packed week ahead. We have a lot of events unfolding within today and tomorrow. We had quite a few good news today regarding some data that come out. We'll go over that in a few seconds. Drop a like if you haven't already done so. I haven't been live in a while, but Merkel, good to see you. King Casper, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. Matt, good to see you. Crawford, good to see you as well. Southflex, good to see you, bro. Shinobi, good to see you. Clifford, good to see you. Britt, good to see you. D-Clan, good to see everyone in the chat. Ross, good to see you as well, my friend. Hope you're all having a good day. Bitcoin is currently at 82K. It was at 84K yesterday. We actually had quite a few unique events. We had a whale who basically wanted to short $500 million, and there was a group of whales that came together. They tried to liquidate him, and they were very close. I think there was $150 away from getting him liquidated, but that guy kept adding margin, and eventually, his liquidation went higher because he added a lot more margin. But he walked away. He closed his. Let me see if I can find it. Where was it? Where was it? Yeah, so this whale right here, he had a 40K short on $500 million on Bitcoin. And the rumors are that that's stolen funds. That's why he was willing to gamble so much money. So I don't know how much money that guy stole from whatever place they stole. They were gambling, $500 million, and whatever profits they made, they bought 3,000 Ethereum, 3,200 Ethereum. On other news, we do have FOMC tomorrow, which is going to be massive. We do have the Bank of Japan interest rate decision hike, or if they're going to hike or not, literally in the space of, well, it's going to be 3 a.m. for me. So that's like, 7-8 hours ahead. That's going to be very interesting because the consensus at the moment is they're going to keep the rates exactly the same as it is. However, if they do raise the rates, we can expect, a quick drop in the markets. It could happen it won't happen straight away, but it will happen in the space of a few days. So if Bank of Japan does raise rates, just expect Bitcoin in the low 70s, maybe in the I would say high 60s. But the consensus is they're going to keep the rates the same, so we don't have to worry about it too much. The market's pricing in 0.5, so if there's anything above, it's going to be a lot of volatility. We do have FOMC at 6 p.m. as well. So it's going to be back to back. So you have Powell is going to be speaking at 6:30. We have the interest rate decision, which is going to be at 6. It's going to be it's going to be the same. It's not going to change. It's going to be 4.5. But what we're listening to is the tone of Powell. Is it going to be hawkish or is it going to be dovish? That's where we need to pay attention. If he's indicating more rate cuts, the market will rally very aggressively. And if he says the end to QT, that's going to be even more massive. The market is going to rally aggressively. Everything's going to pump. Stock market future is going to open massively. Bitcoin is open 24 hours, so that's going to pump aggressively. So we do have a lot of data coming out tomorrow, and I think it's going to be very important in which direction the market goes in the short term. In the long term, it doesn't really matter because Bitcoin follows global liquidity. This red line over here is global liquidity. As you guys can see, it's putting a new all-time high, which is a good sign because global liquidity is what Bitcoin follows. It's about 70% correlated. Sometimes there's a delay. I think there's a 90-day delay between Bitcoin and global liquidity. You guys can see yourself, we had the peak, Bitcoin peaked. We had a drop in global liquidity, Bitcoin dropped right now. And then eventually it should follow global liquidity and we should go to a new all-time high. Now, this could take a few weeks. This could take a month. It doesn't matter because what people don't realize is you can get 2 to 3 months of bearish price action and in the space of 1 to 2 days, you can cancel out, those 2-3 months of bearish price action in 2 days of bullish price action. And prime example of that is Mavia. Mavia was having, one of the worst drops in a while, and guess what happened? We literally took out a whole 2 months of bearish price action from January. I think it went to like 70 cents. So it, literally from January to now, in the space of 2 days, all the bearish price action we had the last 2 months got taken out in a few days. And that's why I tell people is to DCA slowly, do not panic. All coins move very fast, and sometimes they can move very aggressively. And this is a prime example. Mavia is a prime example. It literally, in the space of 2 days, it took out 2 months of bearish price action. That's how quick these altcoins can move. That's why you DCA slowly and ignore all the noise. A lot of people are calling for recession. It doesn't make sense. I've already explained to you guys, a recession in the short to medium term is not going to happen. We've been in a rolling recession since 2022. They just decided to change the definition. And now everyone, every couple of months, the recession topic comes up again. We had a recession topic in 2024 from July to August, from June to August at least. We had a lot of recession talks, and it hasn't happened yet because we currently in a recession. It's just is a rolling recession, and by the time they're ready to come out of it, that's when they announce it. And when they do announce it, you're going to have a little bit of short-term price action where the market's going to go down, and then eventually everything's going to go up, because by the time they announce it, that means they're ready to come out. No politician wants to announce it. They don't want to announce it because it's like you're just shooting yourself in the foot. It's like political suicide, you can call it. That's why when Biden took in office, he didn't announce a recession, even though we was clearly in a recession. Having 2 consecutive negative GDPs results to a recession. They changed the definition. So we've been in a recession for a long time. But what's happening now is the data that come out today, it clearly shows the economy is doing a lot better than a lot of these people are saying. We had manufacturing month over month came in way higher than it was predicted. It was at 0.1% in Jan. This is when the recession talks became more popular, and look how quickly it shot up in February. And this is what Trump is doing. He's trying to boost manufacturing. That's why he's putting these tariffs on these other countries. So all these major institutions that's gone abroad, they're going to come back to the US and build factories or whatever back in the US, because then they don't want to pay the tariffs. They don't want to pay the export, the import, taxes, because it's not going to be profitable for them. So the only solution is to bring the factories back into the America, and that's why we're seeing manufacturing go up, and that's why manufacturing production over here has also stayed high. It was negative all throughout last year, and now it's positive Jan and Feb. So it's looking, the chances of recession is going lower and lower. And when you have initial claims still very low, it's not going to happen in the short to medium term. And everyone that screams recession, yes, there's a lot of data that screams recession, but the most important ones, the ones that everyone really goes to, is initial claims and unemployment, because GDP clearly doesn't make a difference. Otherwise, we would have already announced a recession back in 2022. So now everyone just looks at unemployment and initial claims. Initial claims just consolidating since pretty much 2022. So it hasn't gone up. Unemployment is chilling around 4%, 4.1%. It's not recession territories at the moment. There's credit card, debt at all-time highs. That's recession territories. There's a lot of stuff that is recession territories, but they can just keep masking the data, keep lying about the data, and by the time the announcement happens, they're ready to come out of the recession. This is what a lot of these politicians do. They can literally, through lying, they can manufacture a soft landing. Now, I don't really think we're going to get a soft landing. I don't think it's possible, because in order for us to go into a full-blown recession, you're going to need some black swan event, maybe some fucking banks to go down or something, which is possible. But is that going to happen? I don't think so. I think the Fed will just come to the rescue. Let's see if there's any comments. Let me see. Patience, but always doing the right things, and the price isn't moving. Let me say I'm patient, but dang, always doing. Yeah, look, it's all about where the money is going. At the moment, everyone is risk off, so you have to realize that Oort is an AI project, and if you compare it to a lot of the other AI projects, for example, let's say the top AI projects, let's say Fetch AI, a lot of these are not moving. So you can't expect specific projects to do well when the top ones are struggling like everything else. This chart doesn't show that AI is doing well. Fetch AI has been doing some incredible work. They've just released the first LLM ASI, which is massive. We haven't had that in Web3 yet. Fetch is the only one that has done it. And just look at the chart. No one, the whole market is risk off. This is what you have to realize. Yes, individual coins pump here and there, but that's one in a billion, 1 in a million does not count the whole market. Just because Mavia has pumped, that does not mean every single gaming project has to pump. A few has pumped. OTK has pumped because OTK follows. The money goes to OTK when gaming gets hot. That's why a few days, just the last 24 hours, it had a very sizable pump. I think it was up like 40, 50% the last 7 days. Had a very decent pump, almost a 2x from the bottom. So, specific coins pump, but not all of them is going to pump because you have to kind of zoom out and look at all the other coins in the market and see how they do it. If something like Fetch isn't pumping, it means the money is not going to AI right now. So you can't expect a specific project to do well. It doesn't make sense. You look at Virtuals. Virtuals is was the biggest coin literally a few months ago. Look how Virtuals doing. It just had a lower rally and it's come back down. And this is supposed to be one of the biggest AI projects in the space. It's coming back down. So don't expect Oort to perform well now when everything else is not performing well. It doesn't make sense. Like, is this? I think it's a bit stupid to think that way. I mean, look at AIXBT. It just put in a new low just now. It just put in a new low. The whole virtual ecosystem is continuously going down. All the top AI agent projects that everyone was talking about, they keep going lower and lower. Look at Griffin. Griffin just put in a new all-time low. At least Oort is holding those levels fairly strong, and they continuously work, and that's all that matters. They continuously developing. The price looks decent. It's come down slightly, not fuck all though. From 42 cents to 43 cents, down to 40 cents. It can just go up any day. So if anything, it's holding up a lot better than some of these crazy projects that's just continuously putting in new lows and new lows. Griffin was almost $1 billion in market cap at one point. 56 cents. It's now sitting at 3 cents and is going lower as we speak. AIXBT, was at, what price was this at? This was at 80 cents, now sitting at 9 cents, just putting a new all-time low. So you have to think, if the top projects that everyone was speaking about a few months ago, when the narrative was hot, are putting in new lows all the time, you can't expect a lot of these AI coins to do anything. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's the way you have to think, my friend. Fair enough, if the entire AI space was pumping and all was struggling, then I'll be like, okay, in reality, it should pump. But if everything's dying, why would all pump? Why would any AI coin pump at this current stage in the market? It doesn't make sense, does it? Beam, good to see you. Ross, good to see you. Do I think the bull run will start when stablecoin regulation comes in? I don't think stablecoin regulations. Look, the US government has already stated that they are going to be using stablecoins themselves. They're going to have a stockpile of stablecoins. So yes, they will have regulations. I don't think there'll be harsh regulations. I think USDT will do well. USDC will do well. But if I had to pick between the two, I would probably pick USDC Circle, as I think that has more legs in the US than USDT does. So the stablecoin regulation will come in, but I don't think the bull run will start when that happens. The bull run normally starts based off global liquidity, because risk assets follow global liquidity. They don't follow anything else. That they only follow global liquidity. If you just compare the Bitcoin chart to global liquidity, is almost identical. We had a high surge of global liquidity. Bitcoin had this crazy rally, and then we had this drop. Bitcoin had this drop over here, and then we had this surge over here. Then Bitcoin went up. Obviously, global liquidity came down, but guess what happened? Bitcoin was rallying higher, and the reason was because of the ETF. So there's a little offset. But then guess what happened? We came down here, and Bitcoin consolidated, and I was forming lower highs. And then global liquidity went higher, Bitcoin went higher, then it came down, Bitcoin came down. So then eventually it will go back higher because it follows global liquidity. It doesn't follow regulation, stable coins. All that stuff is noise. The only thing you guys should follow is the liquidity market. At the moment, everyone is risk off. There's something to be concerned about because of Trump's tariffs, because of inflation, even though we know trueflation is at 1%, 1.5%, meaning that inflation is going deflationary, is well below the Fed's target of 2%, is well below that. So we know, in a few months, inflation is going to come down rapidly, and the Fed is going to be forced to cut rates more aggressively. And when more rate cuts come, risk assets go up. At the moment, because we're not going to get a rate cut in the short term, which is tomorrow, risk assets, risk off stuff like gold is going higher. And when gold goes higher, a lot of people that don't understand, if gold goes higher, Bitcoin has to follow. It doesn't work like that. It's quite the opposite. When gold goes up, it means that people are risk off. They're scared about something. And like I said, people are concerned about recession risk or whatever, but manufacturing is doing fine in the US. Some countries are in a recession, but US is the most important one, and they're doing just fine. So we're not going to see a recession in the short term, but obviously in the grand scheme of things, yes, we will go into a recession. The dollar keeps going lower, which is good for us. Sometimes when the dollar goes down, it takes a bit of time for Bitcoin to follow. The reason, if dollar goes down and gold goes down, that's good. If dollar goes down and gold goes up, it means people are risk off. There's a chance the dollar could potentially wick back up at some point if people are looking to go back into the dollar. Because right now they're going into bonds and they're going into gold. That's why gold keeps breaking its all-time highs. Gold can't go up forever. It can rally for a bit. Eventually, it'll dump back down and people will get risk on again. And during that time is when our altcoins will pump. The current moment, that's not the case. So you cannot expect anything to pump in the short term, my friend. Dovish hairstyle, good to see you, bro. Andreas, good to see you. I appreciate that, my friend. What's my thoughts on Mode? I think Mode is a good project. It's a pretty decent AI agent project. But the problem is with specific coins that only do one specific thing, they could die down. So, yes, this coin did very well and held up very well. But look, it drops like everything else. Nothing is bigger than the program. Like, for example, a lot of people want to FOMO into Mavia these days. Mavia might pump in the short term here, a little bit here and there. It does not mean it's going to pump forever. It will come down, and when it comes down, you can buy. This is, in my opinion, this is an artificial pump. This went from 1 or 2 million volume to 100 million. It's an artificial pump. I don't know what market makers pump this. Maybe it was Binance or someone. They do this once in a while to give hope to the people. There's on point comments. Crypto G replica is Sensei's $1 billion feature. Yeah, let's go over Sensei's new feature. So, when I think of AI agents, I think AI agents are supposed to make your life easier. It's supposed to do stuff that you don't have time to do. And this is what Sensei is building. I think, all these other stuff like AI agents that can do specific, I don't know, like let's say Griffin that can do shopping for you, stuff like that is bullish. When you have AI agents that can do stupid stuff like not smart contracts, but there's a lot of AI agents that do retarded stuff that just isn't needed. But I think AI agents are supposed to make your life easier. is supposed to do stuff for you that you don't have, maybe, I don't know, like check your emails or post on your behalf on social media. I think that's pretty good, because if you want to, if you want to have more engagement on your social media, on your Twitter or whatever, guess what? The AI will know how to catch the algorithm. So they're more likely to get you more engagement. I'm probably going to make one and let it post on my Twitter and see how it does. I want to see how good it is. But it posts on your behalf, share insights, updates automatically. I think that's a massive feature. Stay active 24 hours, maintain a consistent online presence, even when you're offline. Personalize the style, set a tone, let AI be the most reliable digital, and ready to let your AI replicas take the mic. I think it's massive. I think your replica, if you can do video calls for you, do job interviews for you, this is what AI agents is meant to be. This is why I'm so bullish on Sensei, because it's building something to make people's life easier. If something can post on your Twitter for you and you're an influencer or you want to become an influencer, the AI is going to know how to catch the algorithms. That's why it's bullish. And they're going to keep getting better and better because the team is expanding. The team keeps growing. There's over 40 people in the team now. At one point it was 30, now it's 40. They keep adding, they keep looking for more developers. That's why I'm so bullish on Sensei, because they're just going to continue to find new features that's going to make Sensei even more noticed than it was 3-4 months ago. They're going to add new features, make new websites, have more developers, do hackathons. So yeah, I'm very bullish on this project. They're just non-stop building, and that's what you want to look for in this current market environment. So what I would do, my friend, is use one to trade with. So what I do is I use MetaMask to trade, and then I keep Trust Wallet as the wallet that I only store tokens on. Don't use Trust Wallet to trade with, and then at the same time keep all your tokens on there, because the time that you can get hacked is the time that the transaction is happening. In that split second that the transaction is happening, you can get bridged and hacked, and then the hackers can steal everything, your IP address or whatever the fuck it is. But the best thing to do is use one to store your tokens and then use one to trade with. That way you can avoid getting hacked. A lot of people get hacked. House of Crypto got hacked for hundreds of grands because of silly little stuff. The best thing to do is, if you want to store your Ondo, just get a cold wallet. Pay a little bit of money for a cold wallet, 30, 40 bucks, a Tangem, a Ledger, a Trezor, whichever it is. You'd rather pay that than lose grands. Grands. If you got a large portfolio, if you got anything more than 20k, you should get, even if you got 10k, it doesn't matter. You should get a cold wallet. Cost of less than $100, but it will save your money for you. Skillers, good to see you, bro. Yeah, actually. So, I mean, if you look at Munity, and this is one thing I like about Munity, although it's a low cap, when the narrative heats up, you're always going to see Munity pump. I mean, the narrative picked up, Munity is already rallying. You're going to see a lot of gaming coins that just don't do anything. Munity follows, an OTK, Munity, they follow the gaming narrative. Mavia sparked, a decent pump in gaming. G Swift as well. G Swift had a nice pump. I actually took advantage of this pump. I put a trade on it around 12, 13 cents. It rallied to about 19 or whatever it was, took profits. It was a nice little rally. I don't know about Alexa. I didn't see Alexa pump. I seen Fury pump though. Engine of Fury. I don't think this is the correct Alexa, my friend. This is the wrong one. How much fucking Alexas is there, bro? Alexa Games, this is the one. I don't think this has pump though. This one done shit. Oh, it did pump. That was back in November, bro. This shit ain't done shit. Yeah, so OTK pumped, Munity pumped, Mavi obviously pumped. Mavi was the one that kickstarted the gaming little pump. Just look for the coins that react positively to the gaming hype, because those are the ones that's going to pump when gaming comes back. Munity reacted positively. OTK reacted, pumped like 60% or some shit. G Swift had a nice rally. Those are the ones you should pay attention to. G Swift's actually a good project in my eyes. What do I think? Look, the one thing I don't like about Powell is he's never going to give anything away. Throughout the cycles, Powell's always been the same. He either bombshells the fucking market by saying no more rate cuts, or sometimes he'll hint at more rate cuts, the market gets bullish. But most of the time, he's fucking boring and vague as fuck. He'll just say the least he can. He'll give away nothing. That's what he likes to do. Because of any little mistake he makes or any little comment he makes, the market will react to that comment. If he says anything about QT's coming to end in the next couple of months, what do you think the market is going to do? The market is going to price that in instantly, and then we're going to see a rally across the board. Is Powell going to do that? No, he's never done that. When it ended QT and started QE last time in 2020, 2021 cycle, he said, we're not going to end QT, we're not going to start QE. And then next week, they did an emergency fucking meeting and started QE. That's what Powell likes to do. So in my opinion, it's going to be as vague as possible tomorrow. I think he will hint at potential more rate cuts because inflation is going down. Unemployment went from 4.4 to 4.1. So that's ticking higher. But, he's going to say his favorite lines, we need more data. That's what he's going to say. He loves saying those words, we need more data. So very likely, in my opinion, he's just going to say, at the current moment, we're going to keep rates the same, but we're going to need more data points. But I think it's going to be somewhat dovish as well. I don't think it's going to be bearish anymore. Creo is a good gaming project. It has a massive community on Twitter. Delario, good to see you. Boys, hit the likes. There's 92 of you in the stream. Let's get to 92 likes. I will be live tomorrow as well for FOMC. We're going to have to listen to Powell and see what he says. Or I might be live just after FOMC because I'll probably be opening my fast at that time. Tim, good to see you around those times. Diddler, good to see you as well, bro. How's everything? Do you think IMP will perform? They seem to be building onto an IMP. Let's have a look. What is IMP? I'm guessing it's this one. Some base, very low volume. Damn, what the fuck? He had a crazy pump. The fuck? What is this, like a layer one? Enabling anyone to launch on-chain agents. Oh, look. People have to realize, and people oftentimes make this mistake, and I see it all the time, and I've seen it with BRC20. I've seen it with a bunch of narratives in the past that just die down completely. I think AI agents will be one of those narratives. I think AI itself will always be massive in crypto, but a lot of these AI agent coins are not going to recover anymore because the team is not doxed. 99% of them are not doxed. So the team's possibly selling off nonstop. And guess what? They're just going to go launch another project. Or they're going to, whatever crazy amounts of money they made, they're just going to, a lot of these AI agents are dodgy. They don't have no real use case. Most of them don't even have a docs team. They can't even do the basics. So when I see AI agents that have one specific use case, which is to launch AI agents, I think most of them will die. The only one that will survive is virtuals. Why do we need 10 platforms or 100 platforms to launch AI agents when we got the main one, which is virtuals? We don't need any other stuff. This is why I'm so bullish on Oort and Sensei, because yes, they do AI agents, but the AI agents is not the same as most of the market is unique. You're not going to have 100 replica or whatever in crypto. You only have one or two. Whereas you have 1,000 AI agent coins that can launch AI agents. It's not unique. There's hundreds of them. I mean, look at Dasha. Dasha went almost to, it went stupid amounts. But look at it now. It's fucking dead. It's at $4 million in market cap. This, once upon a time, this was almost, $200 million in market cap. Now sitting at 4 million. And people will think, oh, if I buy now, if it goes back to its all-time highs, I'm going to make stupid money. But in reality, that's not going to happen. Because how many AI agent launchpads do we really need? We only need one or two max. So that's why pick unique projects Unique projects will always be around in crypto because they're unique. People like unique stuff. Don't buy stuff that 100 other project does because the competition's fierce. And most of them just gonna die. For example, Dasha. I don't even know how this has 2 million volume even to this day. Mainly because it's on Solana. That's where the volume is. But a lot of these are gonna die, my friend. So just be careful not to buy anything that has AI agent launchpads. Majority of them are just terrible. What was the other one? Was it Sny? Sny was one of them, and it was very similar. I told you guys not to fall more into this shit. I think this one can survive because they're still developing. But you have to be very careful with projects like this because there's no docs team behind them. There's no one to be held reliable when shit goes down the fan. Yeah, Mavi has been doing well, country, very well. Yo, there's actually a hacker here. The fuck? Thoughts on creator bid? We can have a look at creator bid. Go over some projects that are doing some good work in a second. Creator bid had a nice little rally. Oh, it's on the BNB. Yeah, so the BNB chain right now, a lot of the liquidity is going to the BNB chain. That's why you're seeing AI Tech do very well. It's actually holding up fairly well as well. AI Tech's doing very well. The reason is because it's on the BNB chain. The BNB chain is doing very well at the moment. So anything on the BNB chain, if you guys are looking for trades, find something on the BNB chain. That's where the money is going right now. Yeah, I've seen this. This doesn't even look that bad. Tokenize. It has the narrative. It has the narrative. It can pump, but I would look at it as a trade, not as a long-term hold. And you've kind of missed the opportunity to buy. Let this cool off before buying, my friend. It's up 35%. You never ever want to buy green dildos. What do I think about Gala Games? Look, Gala Games is dodgy because the two CEOs are still in the court case against each other. But it's a high cap gaming coin. It's like a stable coin. Doesn't really go up too much, but it doesn't really go down either. So it's one of those projects that tend to hold up fairly well. But this project doesn't really pump either. So when the market gets bullish, you're going to see a small pump, maybe a 2.5x. Just don't expect anything more than a 5x for Gala, my friend. 5x, 6x max, that's it. Anwar, good to see you, bro. The temporary pump on gaming OTK heroes indicate that they're likely to perform well during gaming narrative. Do you think it's a good idea to DCA when they retrace? Of course. OTK, Immunity, Nyan is pretty good as well. Look, gaming will make a comeback at some point. It will. Because, if you look at meme coin dominance, it's going down aggressively. It's currently at 8%. And it's going to continuously go lower. Pump fund earnings was at all-time lows a few weeks ago. It's not going to come back because if you guys don't follow Solana had it had like a voting system where if they got 66% votes, they would have became deflationary and burnt a load of tokens, but the bill didn't go through. So they're going to continue to mint more tokens. Solana should have been around $400-500 at the heights. Instead, it only went down, or it only went to about because the market cap from the previous cycle to now has doubled. So that in reality, the price should have doubled as well, but it didn't because of the constant inflationary, minting tokens. So I think Solana could be on its last leg. I don't think Solana can make a comeback. I think it can make a comeback, but I don't really see it putting new all-time highs. I think it will pump again, but it's not going to be crazy or it's not going to go too much past $300 in my opinion. I think Solana has just, I think the money is going elsewhere. Is Griffin good buy right now or RIP? I wouldn't buy Griffin. I just explained to you guys, just because something has pumped before, it does not mean it's going to pump again. That's the harsh reality. Griffin is not too bad. Solana will push this once AI kicks off again. At the moment, AI is dead as well. The whole market is dead at the moment. Everyone is risk off, they're scared or whatever. But as long as they keep developing, I think it should be fine. which it seems that they are somewhat developing. It seems that they're cooled off a little bit. Build agents for your product protocol, customize your agents with action. Yeah, so I think Griffin can make a comeback. I don't think it will die, but if it does die, I wouldn't be surprised either. I wouldn't be surprised. Buy more Oort. More Oort is the answer to everything. I agree, bro. I can't help to buy more Oort. And the reason is because, they're just non-stop working, bro. Like, projects that continue to develop, and it's $50 million in market cap, which is just, is just, I don't know how Oort is this low. They just show how fucked up this cycle is, bro. A project like Oort, if this was in the last cycle, this would have went to like a few $1 billion in market cap. Right now, it's sitting at $50 million in market cap. It just goes to show how undervalued, how weird the market is these days in this current situation. Something like Oort that has plenty of institutions. Tencent Cloud is one of the biggest, AI companies in Asia. One of the biggest AI companies in Asia. Dow Technologies is a $1 billion company. Lenovo is a $1 billion company. BNB is a $1 billion company. Microsoft, Google, these are the companies that's backing or that's giving them grants, because Microsoft has given their second grant now, which means they like what they're doing. These guys get access to open AI technology. They get access to all the stuff that Microsoft has access to, and they're building that. They've just formed this massive alliance with like 10 different projects, and it's going to continuously grow. The data hub, this is going to be training AI models, which I think can only get better. And people that actually are on the leaderboard, they get paid good money. If you're on the leaderboard, if you make it to the top 10, you get paid $1,000, which is pretty decent because it's every month. Every month you can win $1,000. That's pretty good in my opinion. I don't think many crypto projects are going to give you $1,000 every month if you can make it to the leaderboard training AI. If you're in the top 500, you get like $20, which is still decent. $20 for some people is a lot. But what we're waiting for is the compute side for Oort, which is going to be dropping this year. Now, if you look at this, or not this, sorry, where is it? Is it this one right here? So if you look at this, right, NVIDIA CEO just dropped a bombshell at GT 2025. The industry got it wrong. We need 100x the compute we thought we needed last year. So they need way more computing power, for all this AI stuff that they're building. Why do you think I'm so bullish on AI tech that's building a data center to provide computing power for people? They're going to be making a lot of money. IONET makes millions every couple of weeks. They are going to be having so much resource to push the project, to build, to form partnerships, to keep doing crazy stuff. So when Oort releases their compute side, is going to, the buybacks and burns is going to probably double, if not triple, because the computing power is needed. Right now, they have the storage, the data, but the AI side and the AI agents, and just off those alone, they make over $10 million annually profits. So a lot of companies are utilizing them. They're earning money. Once the compute side comes and they offer GPUs and CPUs to a lot of these companies, the earnings are going to go through the roof. You got to remember, Oort's goal is to burn 40% of the tokens. That's where the token utility comes in. If 40% of the token gets burnt over the months, the years, whatever how long it takes, this token's going to only appreciate in value. 40% is a lot to burn, and they burn every quarter. The more money they earn, the more they're going to burn. So and then you look at the nodes. The nodes is growing non-stop. The last time I was on live, this was 72k or 73k. Now it's at 74.5 across 122 countries. The nodes are going to grow. The alliance is going to be massive. I think this is one of the most undervalued crypto projects in the space, bro. Like, I think this alliance is gonna bring it a lot more attention. You got IONET, You got XYO, blockchain, yield, storage. There's a bunch of different projects on there, and I think there's more coming as well. Battle of Britain. What the fuck is that trending for? Anyways, yeah, I'm very bullish. Do I still believe SKR will perform? SKR is a DGen coin, my friend. I still hold my tokens. I am down on them, but I don't give a shit because it's DGen. Something like this can go on to do 100x in the space of a few months. Because it's only $1.8 million in market cap. That's nothing. It's pennies. The volume is still fairly decent for the market cap. 74k volume. That's pretty decent for how low the market cap is. And they are still developing. The team's still active. As long as the team is still active and they're still developing, they're bringing new games on the system. I think these guys are now making AI agents or some shit. I think they have regular AMAs, which I think is quite massive. I think it's quite good for the community. As long as they keep updating and working, it will be fine, my friend. It will be fine. That's the only thing you should look out for is just constant updates from the team. But DGen projects, they're DGen for a reason. You don't put anything more than 1%. I don't even put 1% in some of these. They're very DGen. So don't look. One thing I don't realize is I don't understand is when I say something is DGen, people don't go and put 5 to 10% of the portfolio into it and then cry when they go down. Well, of course they're gonna go down. Their DGen coins. They're gonna go down more than the high caps. If the high caps have gone down 60 to 75% from the all-time highs in December, what do you think the altcoins, the low caps, the $2, $3, $4, $5 million market cap coins are going to do? They're going to go down 80 to 90%, which is what most of them have done. So you have to realize that when you're buying DGen coins, you have to be able to stomach the drops because the drops are brutal. They're DGen coins. I don't think people understand. When everything's pumping, people want to buy more because it's pumping, but they don't realize when shit hits the fan like it did the last 3 months, these coins can go down a lot, which is what we're seeing with Snift, SKR, Chirply, and all these coins. Even Chirply had a nice pump the other day, but they're DGen for a reason. DGen coins are going to be DGen. This had a decent pump actually. I think it's like 40% pump the last 7 days. Yeah, pumped to like 3 cents. From 1.9 to 3 cents, that's almost a 2x. Just please don't buy or don't over allocate to DGen coins because you're gonna feel the pain. You're gonna understand why you shouldn't do it when the market goes down. A lot of people, because we hadn't had a crazy dump like we had now, they think let me buy more because they get greedy. They look at Snift pumped like 4x or some shit or 3x or more, and then they realize it was holding up fairly well at some point, and then it dropped like everything else. Nothing is bigger than the program. Yes, Snift held at a certain point when everything was going down, but then everything goes down in the end. Nothing's bigger than the program. So it will, like I said, it will make a comeback as well. When the market got bullish, it pumped. When the market got bearish, it dumped. It follows the market. I don't get why some people think that specific coins have superpowers and fucking they're gonna just outperform the entire market. Ethereum's gone down 40%. That's fucking crazy amounts for Ethereum. That's like bear market type of drops for Ethereum. What percentage of port to make C under injective? Yeah, so what percentage of port to make higher caps? I would make higher caps like 10 to 15% of the portfolio. Maybe 20% even, or even 30%, depending on your risk tolerance. I personally have a high cap portfolio and I have a low cap portfolio. You can have a high cap portfolio and then a low cap portfolio. My high caps are like injective, have some Ondo, have Bitcoin, I have Ethereum, but those that Ethereum, Bitcoin I've had for years now. Ondo and injective I got. Ondo I got when it first came out. Injective I got back in 2022. So I have a high cap portfolio, and then I have my low cap portfolio, which is what I mostly focus on. when I accumulate, I don't accumulate my high caps, I accumulate my low caps. Yes, I might buy some more injective when it goes down a bit more. And same with Ondo, I will buy a bit more because those are very fundamentally strong projects. Injective actually has the second most, the last couple of months, the last month, Injective had the second most on-chain activity. And the reason is because DeFi is obviously dead. Injective was like a unique one that pumped when everything was kind of dead. And guess what happened? They bridged out to RWA. The on-chain activity rose massively. So now they're doing some AI agent hackathon, which I think is good. Branching out to AI is never wrong. Tesla is now live. So now what they're doing is they're building, or they're having these stocks on the blockchain that you can do futures traded with. So they've got 4 companies now: Tesla, McDonald's, Nvidia, and a few others. Their on-chain activity has gone up massively. So monthly chain Injective surpassed many layer ones, secured second place with that much TS in just 1 month. So their on-chain activity is growing, and that's mainly because of their branching out to RWA, which I think is a very good move for Injective. If Injective gave the same layer 1 for DeFi, eventually it would have just died down slowly. But the fact, and the top at $60 or $50 it was, that would have been the top. Yes, it might have pumped for like $30, $40, but now it has a chance to go slightly higher. The reason is because they're expanding to other narratives, other niches, which is pretty good. And Ondo is going to be the main RWA platform. Trump is using. Well, Trump likes the project. He's got some in his portfolio. So even C, Trump also has C as well. And I think what Trump does is, if you invest into his World Liberty company, that company will buy some of your tokens. So C obviously invested into World Liberty tokens, and that's why Trump decided to buy some C. So it's good marketing. You can look at his marketing. It's like having the Neo Tokyo shit. If you buy a Neo Tokyo NFT, Alex Becker is gonna shout out your token at some point. So it's like free marketing pretty much. I agree with you. Everything's undervalued right now. I wouldn't really go in on any token, all in at least. But if you had to pick one, Ondo is not a bad one, my friend. Ondo is not a bad one at all. That's a pretty decent one. Best DGen low caps for current price range, risk to reward. Yeah, so the best DGen ones now, OTK is pretty good. I think Chirply is pretty good. That one's a safe one in my opinion. OTK, Chirply, DGen one, right? If you want another DGen one, you can either get Munity or you could probably get Nye. It's not DGen, but it's like on the lower cap side. 7 million, I would class this as lower cap. But this is a very, very good token in my eyes. Very great token. I think it's kind of bombed out. I think this can do huge numbers. And the reason is because the ecosystem is massive. These guys' ecosystem is huge. And, just look at that ecosystem. There's some very big names on there. AFA, Oort is on there, IO on it, Vana, Peak, Fetch AI, Filecoin. They're going to have some Web2 companies as well, actually. And people are utilizing it because, the data problem in AI is massive. So every company, especially in Web3, can use AI because they solve the data problem. It saves a lot of these companies a decent amount of money annually. And apparently they've gone to something with some Casper shit in Amsterdam. So yeah, I think Nuclei, they're forming partnership after partnership, 1 partnership, 2 partnership. I think they've done like 6, 7 partnerships, 3 partnerships. They've done like 6, 7 partnerships in the space of 2 weeks, which I think is pretty good. As long as the team's working, that's all that matters. That's all that matters in these current because it means that they're active, they're working, they're here for the long run. So a lot of these projects just sell their own tokens and just fuck off because they made their money. They don't need to come, they can just do some other shit, launch another project. What do I think about a good price to buy OTK? Depends. If the market goes down, you can most likely get OTK around 0.04, maybe around these regions again, 0.04, 5, between 4 to 5 is my best bet. If it goes lower than that, it's even better opportunity. But this is $2 million in market cap, 2.5 now after the pump. Fuck all. For this to do 100x is 250 million. Before it was 190 million at the lows, or 180 million. This could easily do 100x. Not easily, but it has the potential to do it. I still think you can, yeah. I still think you can. But it's degen, bro. Like I said, it's degen. Andy, good to see you, my friend. I'm not doing a decentralized science tier list, bro. That narrative is too weak. Very good to see you, Andy, bro. How are you doing? What do I think about Tectum? I'm still holding my Tectum. Now, Tectum's not fucking dead. A lot of people think it's rug pulled. Stupid. People are stupid. It's not rug pulled. The team is still active. They've just gave us a wave of updates, which I think is very good. They've just formed a partnership with PropChain. So what Tectum is trying to do is they're going to be a layer 1 for RWA as well. So you can bring RWA on the Tectum mainnet, which I think is quite massive. So they've partnered with these guys to bring RWA on Tectum. I think they've had the first project built on the soft nodes. So these guys are the official liquidity of the fuck they are for the soft nodes. Pretty decent. I think that might be the first token that's built, or the first wallet on the soft nodes, or built on the mainnet. A lot of people were flooding this because of the buyback program. It seems that they've solved that now. So they have a wallet that you can check for them to actually buy or check the buybacks. How much buybacks are they doing? And they've just had a wave of updates in terms of the mainnet. So this is what they've done for the week. Launch of Tectum 4.0. They've integrated with Solana, which is pretty decent. They have the mobile app, the loyalty program. These guys are actually fixing a lot of stuff and they're still working, which I think is good because as long as your project's working, in the bull run, they all pump. And this can just make a massive comeback. You gotta remember, Matic was a layer 1. It went down 99% before doing a 200x. Tectum could do the same shit. Look at Mavia. Mavia, everyone was calling a rug pull dead, and then now everyone's fucking hyper bullish on Mavia. This is why you don't listen to retail retards. How many times do people call a project dead? They FUD it when the price goes down. As soon as the price goes up, they jump on the bandwagon. Mavia is the best. Tectum's the best. This project's the best. That project's the best. Because all retail cares, they just look at price action. If price action goes down, they call it a rug pull. If price action goes up, they call for 5,000 per token. That's what they do. They're retarded. That's the classic retail. Just ignore all the noise. Look at the team. Are they building? If they are, it will do well. These guys are building. And one of the concerns, and they did come out and address it, which I think is quite massive. One of the concerns people had with this project was the previous CEO, which is what's his name, Russell. Apparently, 2.5 million so Tectum's failed to announce strategic partnership bringing tokenized real estate to the fastest layer 1. Pretty good. Now, where is it? Let me see if I can find it. I think that what they do is they post it and they delete it. Anyways, what happened was the previous CEO, they had like 2.5 million of the liquidity that was actually locked up. Now that fund has gone missing. So what Tectum has done now, they've added a support or like security or whatever, like some sort of emergency liquidity shit. So even if they pull that 2.5 in liquidity, Tectum, the price will not get affected. There's so much liquidity there now that even if that 2.5 million gets, like I said, gets pulled, nothing will happen. So I think that's a great counter. A lot of one of the main things about Tectum and why it has done so shit was because of the fighting in the team. Half of the team has left, and the rest of them are still there. That's what's caused this project to go downhill. It seems all the bad apples are out now, and the guy that originally made this project is running the project now. Let's see how he does. That's all I can say. If you're gonna buy it, just buy a small amount. I wouldn't recommend going large into this. There's a lot more better layer ones, in my opinion. Rio prop-based brick and trade, which is the best tokenomics? Rio has the best tokenomics because it's more or less fully diluted. The rest of the tokens come out like 35 years time, over the space of 35 years. Prop base, most of theirs is almost diluted as well. So prop based tokenomics are just fine as well. The vesting schedule is very slow. Most of the early investors are out. The only people that can get their tokens are the seed guys. Bricken, I think the last unlock for early investors was last month. So all three of them have good tokenomics, my friend. All three of them are sound. You can buy either of the three. I personally like Bricken, prop base. I like all three. I hold all three. I don't even want to pick favorites. I would say the most undervalued is probably prop base at 8 million. Prop base at 8 million is stupidly undervalued. Will Bitcoin reach 73K? I think it will grab that liquidity down there at 73K at some point. Yes, I think it can. Obviously, we can rally before that, but at some point, there's a bunch of liquidity around the 70K region, the 68K, 69K region, the 72, 71. There's a lot of liquidity there that will get scooped at some point. So yes, I do think it will reach that level. I have cash on the side. When it hits those levels, I'm going to be buying aggressively. Parcel or Rio? It's like, it depends what I personally like Rio. And the reason I like Rio is because Rio is always in the top 10 most talked about coins in the crypto space on Twitter. So it has plenty of shillers. So when the old season comes around, Rio is going to have a lot of attention around it. Number two, there's not, crazy unlocks for Rio. The vesting schedule is fuck all. It's going to be coming out in the space of 35 years. Most of it is going for the validators, the staking rewards. 90% of the Rio supply is staked. That means there's only 10% in circulation. Most of it is staked. So it's like a cult. And Parcel, they're starting their unlocks in a few, maybe this month, next month. I don't know when it is. Let me see if I can go on Chain Broker. Let's go look in Chain Broker. I want to know when the unlocks are. But the unlocks for Parcel are not pretty. The reason is because 50% of the supply is held by early investors. That's half of the supply. 28% is investors, and then 21% is the team. The team is early investors, whether you like it or not. I want to know when these guys are going to get their tokens on. When did this token come out? So there's a 12-month cliff and 24-month vesting. Parcel has been around, I fuck knows for how long. When is the next unlock? It doesn't even tell you. I don't know when the unlocks are going to start, but these guys, strategic round is still up on the investment. Seed guys are up stupid amounts on the investment. This guy's up a lot. Yeah, so all of these guys are up on the investment. So keep in mind when the unlocks do happen, and I don't know when the unlocks are. Let me see when this token came around. When did Parcel come around? May. Okay, so May 2024. So in May 2025, the unlocks is going to start, or April, sorry, in April 2025, the unlocks for Parcel is going to start. So you use your brain. Would you rather buy a token that has all the unlocks done? 90% of the supply is staked, 10% is in circulation. You can have a supply shock at some point. Or are you going to buy a token that was good to buy in the first year and stupid to buy afterwards because all the unlocks start happening? 50% of the supply is held by early investors. Of course, you have to go with real. No one even talks about Parcel anymore. And the reason is because once you get the tier 1 listing, which you got Coinbase, it's like you've kind of already made it. Yes, Parcel will pump like when RWA, everything will pump. But I personally would rather buy real over, Parcel. What's Parcel's market cap? Let's have a look. Parcel's $28 million in market cap. Real's 13. Has more upside potential as well. So yeah, I personally would rather go real. Look, real is building a platform where anyone, retail, anyone can tokenize anything they want for free. That's a pretty good use case. You can tokenize your water bottle, anything you want, with no costs. And I'm pretty sure that you have to use a token utility. Maybe that you have to use the real token, add some good token utility to it. They're going to be burning, I think it's like, I don't know how much real it is, but with the district they have, for every district that gets rented, they will burn a certain amount of real. I can't remember from the top of my head, but it's like 12, 13 million real tokens being burnt, which is quite a lot. Quite a lot. Me personally, I'd rather go with real, buddy. What would I rate these best to worst? I would rate prop base real. Okay, I would rate prop base number 1. The reason I would rate prop base number 1, boy, what the fuck? There's another scammer, bro. How are these scammers getting so good at commenting on lives? Yeah, anyways, I would rate prop base number 1. The reason I would rate prop base number 1 is because they've already tokenized. They got big partnerships. They're very close to the Aptos chain. Aptos has stupid amounts of money behind them. So if they're ever short on money or needs help or whatever, the Aptos chain will help them. I think prop chain is pretty good, but it's a slow mover. Prop chain is still a good project. Real, I would put prop base number 1, real number 2, prop chain number 3, and Proppy last. Proppy is old. Like no one gives a shit about Proppy, bro. Like if you look up, I think Proppy will pump. Like everything will pump when RWA pumps. So when I say something shit, does not mean it can't pump. It will pump, right? But just look at this. Just look at it. Just look at this. You look from the lows, 24 to thingy, had a very good rally. From let's say from here, January, it pumped almost a 10x, just under a 10x, pumped like a 7 to 8x, right? Prop base done 12, 13 to 15x from the lows. Real done 30x or some shit from the lows, 30 something, 30 to 35x. Prop chain, let me see how much prop chain done. I've never really looked into prop chain too much. I know it's very similar to prop base, but look at prop chain from the lows. It pumped like 5x, right? So you have to look at the token and see where the token and the attention is. Attention isn't in prop chain or proppy. It's in prop base and real. Prop base pumped literally. I think if you count it from the very lows, it pumped 12 to 13x, maybe 13 to 15x around those regions. It went almost to like 25, 26 cents. I think the coin market cap always puts it slightly lower. So it pumped a very healthy amount, 13 to 15x. Real 30 to 35x. And because a lot of people, like even prop base is always in the top 10 most talked about altcoins on Twitter. Twitter is where when all season starts and you see 5,000 people shilling prop base, the price is going to go up. This is what people don't realize. Stuff like that makes a big difference. Yes, it might not make a difference in the short term when price is going down, but in the grand scheme of things, when all season and RWA heats up, stuff like that is going to play a massive role in the price action. Why do you think Rio was one of the best performing, RWA coins this entire cycle? The reason is because thousands of people talk about it consistently every day. That's why it makes sense to hold it. What do I think about CETAS? Jay, good to see you, brother. What do I think about CETAS? I think CETAS will do well, but would I buy it? I wouldn't, bro. I think C has had his run. I think C can still go higher, but you've missed the initial pump on the entire Sui chain thing. So I wouldn't jump onto the bandwagon now. I think it's too late. It's like people that want to buy Mavia now. You've missed the boat, bro. Just let it cool off. Maybe buy back in later. But if you FOMO in after something's pumped 5 to 6x, you deserve to lose money, bro. This is a lot of people make the mistake of they turn into a pussy when everything turns red, and then they want to FOMO in when everything goes green. Stupid. It doesn't make sense. You have to have the opposite mentality. You buy when everything's going down, and you sell when everything goes back up. You can, maybe you want to trade, maybe you want to do whatever, but you do the opposite of what a lot of people do. A lot of people want to FOMO into Mavia now after he's pumped 6x. It's pumped 6x. The fuck do you think he's going to do another 10x from here or something? What do I think about Foxy coin? What the fuck is that? That sounds like a meme coin, bro. Is Naka a good buy now? Yeah, Naka's a very good project, bro. One thing that I really, really like about Naka is they non-stop work and just consistently build. You will not go a day without Naka doing something. Every day they do something. Whether it's they build a new game, they have a Telegram, they build an app, they just updated their roadmap. These guys are always doing something. And they've branched out to AI now, so it's AI gaming, GameFi, AI, whatever you want to call it. So I'm very, very bullish on Mavi and Naka. But when gaming picks up, this will be one of the leading ones, in my opinion. $26 million in market cap is stupidly undervalued. How many X's portfolio are we looking at from here, G, considering we are downloads? Narrative still a thing to compound gains. I think so. Narrative will always be a thing in crypto. Always be a thing. Like liquidity will move place to place. This is how the crypto market works. It's always worked like this. Liquidity will go from narrative to narrative to narrative. So yes, if you can get some more funds and buy now, your portfolio will do a 30x from here easily. A lot of people don't keep funds on the side, buy when everything is green, and then when everything goes down, they don't have no money to buy. Depends. Some coins will do really well. I mean, back in those days, the average good project the previous cycle went to around $200 to $300 million in market cap. So if this cycle does well and the environment is right, if every cycle is going to be bigger than the previous one, and ultimately you can expect the same, if not slightly higher. So, 200 to 300 million on average on a good project. I think all of our projects are good, apart from the exception of a few. Now let's go over some news actually. So long-term buyers acquired 167,000 BTC in a month, which means the long-term holders are, they were selling back then. Well, they've actually been buying recently. They haven't been selling. Yeah, they sold a bunch actually. Fucking hell. The long-term holders were selling 100K. Crazy. And now they're just starting to buy loads again. Oh yeah, the Justin Song guy, the CEO of Trust, has staked 100 million ETH today, which is massive. That's good for ETH. That's very good for ETH. He's going to be earning $3 million per year. That's where when you become rich, it becomes really easy to make money. You don't even have to invest anymore. If you invest 1 million in something that gives you 10% a year, you make 100K a year. 100K a year of doing fuck all is pretty good money, in my opinion. There's various ways to make money. This new feature from Sensei, I think, is massive. NVIDIA. Oh yeah, AGI is obviously backed by NVIDIA, so they've basically they've been invited to the fucking NVIDIA GTC shit, wherever the fuck this is, this GTC 2025, along with virtuals, wherever the fuck this is, and wherever the fuck that is. So yeah, pretty good from AGI, I guess. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. I'll answer a few questions, and then I'll wrap it up. I will be live tomorrow after FOMC. We can wrap up what Powell has said. I have to start getting live again. And once fasting season's over, once Ramadan's over, I will be live making videos regularly. It's just difficult when you're fasting all day and then to make videos because your mouth gets really dry. And when you make videos, you have to constantly talk because you make a lot of mistakes in between. It's a good idea to buy higher caps now, and then no, I don't think that's a good idea, cool guy. Because by the time your high caps do a 3 to 7x, most of these altcoins will probably do 5 to 10x. Is it good? No. Nai has a lot of big KOLs behind it on Twitter. Yeah, Nai has stupid amounts of KOLs. That's why I think it will do very well. If you go look at Nai, it's actually a lot of people talk about it. It's always being showed by the community, which is good because you have a good community behind it. The same thing goes with Bricken now. Bricken now, they've just done the ambassador program, which they didn't have before. So they have this ambassador program now, which is pretty good in my opinion because you get a lot more KOLs talking about Bricken now. Where is it gone? Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, so the ambassador program, over 270 applications, which I think is pretty good. That's a lot of applications. I'll speak to the CEO. And let's see if I can become an ambassador, bro. I want to see if I can become an ambassador for them. Is prop base really most talked about altcoin? That is surprising. Good, really. Yeah, so it's not the most, but it's in the top 10. So where's? Let me see if I can find it. There's a guy on what's his name? There's a guy. I don't think I follow him, but every now and then he will post. When I find it, I'll show you guys on the next stream. I'll save it. But what this guy does is he posts, the most talked about altcoin this week. Price Real is always in there. Tectum is exploding. Am I bullish on Super? Yes, I'm very bullish on Super. Super is oracles in crypto will always do well. If you already have loads of low cap, then it's fine, cool guy. Yes, you can do that. You can put into the high caps and then move it down and add to your averages in the low caps. You can do that, my friend. That's a valid move. Can Oort reach 1 billion? I think it can, yes. I think once people actually find out about Oort and what it really does, I think it will do really well. And I think once it gets like a tier 1, maybe a tier 2 listing, I think a lot more attention will be on it. So they just need to market themselves a bit better. That's the only thing with Oort. They just need a bit more market. They need a bit more KOLs pushing it. Is Bricken a good in base? Good choice. Bricken on base. Is it on base? I thought it's on Ethereum. Bricken's on Ethereum. I don't know if they have liquidity on base. Bricken's not on base, G. It's on fucking Ethereum. Bricken's on Ethereum and BNB chain. Started off on BNB, now it's on ETH. Do I think the normal 4-year cycle is dead? BTC, yeah, bro. The 4-year cycle is dead, bro. Like the reason the reason the 4-year cycle was intact before was because we was always in economic expansion, meaning that the monetary policy was looser. You know, we wasn't going into a business cycle. There was no rate cuts, no rate hikes, nothing. So of course, during those cycles, you're going to get, you know, the 4-year cycle is still intact because it makes sense. When you're in a business cycle, it's different. The business cycle is, you know, the reason Ethereum's struggling so much is because it has a lot to do with the Fed. If the Fed is taking assets off their balance sheet, smart money is not going to go and buy Ethereum. They will only go buy Bitcoin. They're going to go buy the best in the asset class. They're not going to go to the second best. They're not going to go to the 1,000 coin on down the list. They're only going to go to the best. This is where smart money does. So Ethereum needs institutional investments. Institutions right now, at least for the past year, are sometimes risk on and sometimes risk off. And the reason is because there's data every week that affects the price. If unemployment goes up, the market gets scared. If inflation goes up, the market gets scared. So the right monetary policy is not in place for Ethereum to do well and for all coins to do well. Now, obviously, a business cycle will eventually have to come to an end. So yes, at some point, when the QT phase finishes, Ethereum, a lot more interest will be shown into Ethereum. This is all that it comes down to. A lot of people try to complicate it and say Ethereum's dead and blah, 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 blah. In reality, if you look at Solana, Solana dropped way more than Ethereum did. Ethereum held up fairly well in the bear market. Solana almost died, and Solana went back to its all-time highs. And people don't realize this. They like to pick specific things. Oh, Solana did a 10x. But the reason Solana did a 10x is because Solana dumped just as much. Solana came down here. Let's go on and hold on. You can actually do this. I think I can compare the charts. Let me turn that off for a second. Let me turn that off as well. Turn that off for a second, right? Let's go on, add this, let's add Sol chart, and let's compare it, right? Fuck's sake. Sol, same scale. So you look at Ethereum, right? Or this look at Solana. Ethereum did not dump as much as Solana did. So Solana obviously dumped way more than Ethereum. Let's do it separately, bro. Fucking hell, this is retarded. Let's compare the price action. So Solana, Ethereum from the all-time highs came down approximately 80%, let's say, right? 80%. Let's go on Sol. Let's see how much Sol came down from the all-time highs. Why is this in market cap? What the fuck is it in market cap for? Why is it in market cap? I want to see the price action, Sol. Oh, fuck this, man. This is pissing me off. What the fuck just happened? Where's my Sol? Sol US dollar. So where is it not showing? Oh, you fucking bastard. I need to do it from here. Okay. Let's do the comparison now. Yeah, so Solana came down 97% from the all-time highs, and it rallied just about past its all-time highs, just about, right? So 97, about 290, let's say. Ethereum, on the other hand, did not go down as much as Solana, but it didn't go past its previous all-time highs. It did get close, about 4,000. That's why a lot of people say Ethereum's dead. But most of the on-chain activity is on Solana, specifically because of the meme coins. That's all it is. If the meme coins were on Ethereum, or Ethereum had some sort of, every cycle Solana seems to have something. The previous cycle it had NFTs. This cycle, it has meme coins, whereas Ethereum was riding off being the best, the second best, let's say, after um, after Bitcoin. But this cycle, no one cares about the second best anymore because that was a narrative the previous cycle. You need a new narrative every cycle for people to create that hype. And monetary policy plays a big role on these riskier assets. Institutions not going to go buy Ethereum, like I said, when unemployment, there's uncertainty with unemployment, when there's uncertainty with inflation, because these coins are volatile. They can go down 50% randomly, like Ethereum has had the last month. It can just fly down. No institutions wants to be down 9 to 40, 50% in a month. When the S&P goes down 5%, it causes fucking panic for them because they invest, billions. Imagine a billion in Bitcoin or in Ethereum, sorry, and it goes down 40%, you've just lost a shit ton of money. So that's where monetary policy comes into play. When it's risk on, people don't give a shit. They can go put their money in shit and it will pump 5 to 10x. This is what happened in the previous cycle. You could have literally bought anything and it would have pumped 5 to 10x. That's where liquidity, and you have to follow the liquidity cycle. Don't follow anything else but liquidity, because risk assets follow the money printer. When the money printing goes up, risk assets get leveraged higher. They will, they can go down in the short term, but if the overall goal, and the overall money printing and the global money supply goes up, risk assets will follow at some point. There could be a delay, but it will follow it. It's very, very few specific events. One of the things that could offset M2 money supply is a global recession or a recession in the US, which clearly we haven't seen yet. They're not going to commit political suicide and announce a recession, because we're in an ongoing recession, a rolling recession, since 2022. It's just they keep masking the data, they keep revising everything. They bring unemployment down to 4.1%, or job quits, or Joe's jobs, whatever it is, and then they revise it 2 weeks later. But no one looks at the revision. Very few people look. So then they look at unemployment 4.1%. That's all they care about. But look, in the end, we will go into a recession because all the signs are there. It's just that how long is that recession? We don't know, because we're not going into a global recession where most countries are going to be in a recession. The reason is because global GDP is trending higher. It's not trending down. In order for us to go into a global recession, you need a fixed year of all the countries, the major countries, America, China, Germany. Germany is already in a recession. What's the other country? Japan, actually. Japan is up there. And in India, we need those countries to have a full year of negative GDP, which clearly we haven't had. The tides will change, and people like Powell play a massive role in that tide. If Powell comes out and says we're having more rate cuts, the market is going to instantly shoot up because they're going to price that in instantly. That's what the market does. They like to price stuff in instantly. So that's why when the tariff news started speaking, when it originally started happening, guess what happened? Bitcoin went down aggressively because the market prices everything in. All the uncertainty gets priced in an instant, gets priced in very, very quickly. That's what happened. And now, as soon as Powell gives any dovish behavior, the market's going to price that in and we're going to shoot up. In terms of, I think those two are the best narratives to be in and have some gaming on the side. If you have 2 picked coins, 30x the cycle. If I only had to pick 2 coins that were 30x, I would potentially put my money into Sensei. I think Sensei doesn't need a lot of money to pump. And if you want to be really degen, you can probably pick a gaming coin. For example, something like OTK will only need like $60 million to do a 30x. So not a lot in the bull run, trust me, it's not a lot. Sounds like a lot now, but in the bull run, that's fuck all. But if you want to be a bit more safe, I'll probably put into something like Oort, Sensei, or Nai, or Prop Base. I think those can do a 30x to the current price. It's hard to say which one will pick up. I don't look. There's no point trying to front run the first narrative because no one knows which narrative is going to pump first. It's impossible to know. You'll know at that time. If we have QE in crypto bear market, just a thought came into my mind. You won't have QE. I don't think people even want QE. You don't want QE, bro. A lot of shit has to go wrong for QE to come. A lot of shit will have to go wrong, and you don't really want QE unless some sort of black swan happens. I don't know, like some fucking banking collapse or some shit. Then the Fed will come to the rescue. However, is that ideal? I don't think it is, because shit really has to go down the fan in order for the Fed to start QE. It has to really go wrong. So I don't really want QE. As long as you have an end to QT, that's enough for people to get risk on. Is Akash dead? Check them. I don't know. I don't follow Akash, but I don't really pay attention to it. Dow is dead though. Boys, hit the likes. I agree. Hit the likes. Between Naka and Miria, Naka by far, bro. Naka by far. Go look at Miria and go look at Naka. Miria is a lot higher market cap. Naka has less dilution. Miria, I don't think you can compare the two. I think Naka is a lot better than Miria. Miria is just, they don't really do too much. They like to delay some of the shit. Naka's, they work, they update, they make new games every single day. They do something. Yeah, the tide will change soon, 100%. Out of those two, it depends what your risk tolerance is. I think both of those are they're more or less same market cap. I think Sensei is slightly lower. I like both of them, my friends. Both of them will do good returns. They're good. They're good, high reward, but I don't really look at them as high risk. I look at them as like decent risk, but they can give good rewards. What's a good average? My average for Sensei is, I think it's 0.09, 0.009. So I'm still up on my Sensei investment. 0.09, but here, somewhere around here is perfect. Appreciate that, Subobo. It's good to have you in there, buddy. Will Sniff survive in the mud right now? Yeah, so look, this is what you guys have to realize. And I don't think people realize this type of stuff is Snift is an AI agent coin. So you have to bear that in mind, right? So it's not a fucking high cap or anything, any of the sort. It's a degen $1 million coin with a good vesting schedule, good volume. So it ticks all the boxes that have the right backers from Binance Labs, from OKX Ventures. So then you look at it, let's compare it, right? Sniff, the last 30 days is down 64%. The last 30 days, which is the brunt of the market was in the last 30 days. The most we've ever dropped has been in the last 30 days. Keep that in mind. You look at Griffin, keep in mind, Snift is a very low cap project, degen. Griffin, one of the most known AI agents, is down more than Snift is. The last 30 days, this is down 69%. Let's look at A1 6 AI 16, or whatever the fuck it's called. Another massive AI agent coin. Everyone would loved it at one point. Everyone was talking about it. This is down 58% the last 30 days. Let's look at virtuals. Virtual protocol, right? Down 47% the last 30 days. So if you compare this to a majority of the AI agents, A1 16, AI 16, whatever the fuck, let's go on virtuals. This shit will come up instantly. You look at AI XBT, this is down 57% the last, so if you compare it to a majority of the AI agents, they are in the same similar range. So when you say Snift is in the mud, yes, it is in the mud. However, it's in the same mud as a majority of the sector. As I explained to you guys many times, nothing is bigger than the program. Everything will go down when the sector goes down or when the market goes down. And that's exactly what happened to SNIFT. And I said, make sure it's 1% or less of your portfolio. That way, you're not even thinking about it. SNIFT in the bull run can go on to do 100x from here is $1 million in market cap. It can, because it caters to the AI gaming narrative. And they're not, they're not abandoning the project. Just go on their Twitter and see what they do. Are they building partnerships? Yes, they are. Binance Daily always gives them a shout out. They've just got listed on some fucking DAO-based AI. I don't know what the fuck that is. Some sort of compare. They've just partnered with this guy. We've teamed up with Genius. So this is one of the AI agents on the Binance chain. They've just partnered with those guys. Thank you so much for your Fusium. I don't know what that is. So they're giving out some awards to people. They're forming partnerships after partnerships. With DJ and AI, they've just formed a partnership with these guys. So, these guys are still active and they're still working. So it's not like they've abandoned the project. So yes, it will do well at some point. But you have to be subjective and you have to understand that a lot of these coins are DJing coins. When the market gets bearish, that you are going to feel, the effect of the bearishness. These coins will go down a lot more. What's my thoughts on AGI? Look, I was very bullish on AGI, but it's not the same anymore because AGI, once upon a time, was one of the only AI agent coins in the space, but now there's hundreds of them. So it's lost that uniqueness. I like to buy unique projects that have unique features that most other crypto projects don't have. Because for for the last 3 cycles that I've been in crypto, unique projects have always performed. Projects that do a little bit of everything, they can do okay, but when they have a unique use case, they tend to outperform the whole market. So that's what I like. AGI had that at one point, and that's why it did a 45x originally. But is it going to do that moving forward? I don't think it is. No, I think it was good 4 or 5 months ago or 6 months ago before all these new AI agents come up. But now there's hundreds of AGIs around. So I wouldn't personally I wouldn't buy it anymore, bro. 0.015 for Sensei, currently it is 0.02. If you can get it to 0.015, I think that's pretty good. Can Casper still... Bro, Casper's been dead for the past fucking 4 years, bro. How are you still talking about Casper? Fucking hell. How's this project even alive? Bro, this project has been dead. Look at this for the past 4 years. I don't know why you're buying this. This is dead. It's been RIP for a while. Very good to see that, Vieira. A lot of my projects are still up. I'm still up on ATR, surprisingly. I'm still up on it. I'm still up on Sensei. I'm still up, more or less break even slightly. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it break even, sometimes I'm in profit, sometimes I'm down on Bricken. Some of these projects hold up really well. What's my thoughts on ICE? I'm not bullish on ICE. Their mainnet failed, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it can. It's possible. Of course it can. Crispy, good to see you, my friend. Can be used 2 to 3% more port. Now 1%. I'm thinking of doing something right. Yeah. I mean, look, when the market was bullish, Snift was doing very well. It was pumping. Very likely we'll do again. Very likely. So I don't see you rugging either. I think it's perfect time to accumulate. The best time to accumulate. Yeah, look, the best time to accumulate is I would not be buying large amounts right now. Very small DCAs, tiny amounts across the board. The best time to buy, as I said, there's a bunch of liquidity sitting in this area right here. This is the time to buy, my friend. But I don't even use this shit, but how do I do a little box? Bro, what the fuck? Anyways, the best time to buy, because there's a bunch of liquidity down at the 70 region, 68K. We will touch this region at some point. We will see this region at some point, my friends. This is the area to buy, because there's a bunch of liquidity, hundreds of millions ready to buy BTC. This is where the value is. You have to look at where value is in the markets. Value is not up here. No one apart from retail wants to buy Bitcoin at 100K. Some people are looking to buy because BlackRock they purchased 250 million yesterday, and they've just bought another 40 million today. So there's some value for Bitcoin at 80K, but it seems the most value for Bitcoin is at 73, this region right here. So there's a bunch of liquidity sitting at this region, and it will hit this region at some point. So when it does hit this region, that's when you should buy aggressively, because the only way I see this hit in this region is if some stupid event comes out, some black swan or whatever, and the VIX will shoot back up. And when the VIX hits 30 or somewhere around these regions, you always buy. When the VIX goes above 30, it's time to buy. People will get risk on again. That's what the VIX is for. I don't know when the fuck it shot up here. Oh, that was in August. In August, the VIX shot up to 63, which is fucking, well, I think it's 30. What the fuck has happened to this? Is it because it's in USD? Oh, how do I get rid of this? But why is everything in dollars? No, why is this in dollars? Anyways, bro, let's fix this shit. What the fuck has happened, bro? Yeah. So when the VIX goes 30 plus, that is when you start purchasing your coins. So what's my top 5 to buy today? My top 5 today, and you should only DCA tiny amounts at the moment. I don't think you should buy large up until we will grab that liquidity in the low 70s. That's when you guys should buy heavy. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for that liquidity to be grabbed. It will come down there at some point. We could potentially go higher first, but even if we do go higher, do not buy when everything is green. Just wait. It will grab that liquidity at some point. I guarantee you it will grab that liquidity. Hold on. Top 5 coins, or I like Oort a lot. I think is at $15 million a market cap. There's no more unlocks. So one of the things that really stopped me from telling people to buy this heavy was because there was validator unlocks. So these validators, the Microsofts, all these other big fucking companies that's with this company, they stake their tokens. These validator unlocks happen. It's like 30 million, sometimes 25 million that gets unlocked randomly. Those have completely finished now. There's no more for that to come. So you're not going to see much dilution for this project anymore moving forward. So right now, it makes the perfect time to buy this at 4 cents. It does pump on the market, gets bullish. We've already seen it multiple times. And it dumps, and it's held up fairly well, to be honest. I mean, the last 30 days, it's only down 36%. This has held up better than Virtual's protocol. That's gone down like 45. This has only gone down 36%. It's been holding up a lot better than the majority of the high caps. I mean, let's just go look at Fetch AI. Let's look at Fetch AI. Fetch AI, the last 30 days, has gone down 35%, and Oort has gone down 36%. So this is holding up the same as a fucking high cap. That's pretty impressive in my opinion. I think that's pretty good. 35 on Thingy, 36 for Oort. Pretty good. It's been holding up really, really well. And that's because they do their buybacks and burns. So this project, Oort, Nye, Sensei, prop base, I would say for RWA, prop base is at phenomenal levels. Like, people don't realize that once RWA becomes bullish, you're going to see prop base do really, really well. Because one of the things that people don't like is that they're on Aptos. They got a base bridge. It's on base as well. But guess what? It's going to be on Ethereum as well. Their next goal is to start they're going to be on Ethereum bridge. They're going to have an Ethereum chain, so you can buy this on Ethereum now, which I think is good. They're also going to have a new website. They're going to have a new marketing campaign, so they're going to start marketing again. So they're going to change everything around, website, everything changed, more chains, and then they're going to start marketing. So when the marketing happens, you're going to see some good price action for Prop-Base. So that's very good. What else is there? I would probably say Bricken's not not a bad buy. Bricken's not a bad buy. I'm gonna get off in the next 5 minutes, bro. My mouth fucking dry, run out of water. Yeah, Sensei and ATR. ATR is very, very good as well. Can Statex pull a mantra? Let's not talk about Statex, bro, on here. But I think it can, yes. Statex, we have to wait for that to come out first, but that's gonna do phenomenal, bro. I mean, does it have Pompimentos, bro? Once it's time to get Statex and I explain to you guys what Statex is and what it does, you guys will understand. It's going to be massive. I wouldn't buy Griffin right now, my friend. It's in a free fall. Like, Griffin is not looking to hold any support levels at the moment because there is no support levels at the current moment. I can't see it on here, but go look at Dex Screener and look at what the major support is. I remember this was like $3 million in market cap at one point. Around those regions, yeah. I think we can definitely see 30 cents, yes. Definitely, bro. It's not going to dump too much. Like, Oort does not dump a lot. Even if you go to 73K, you might see Oort at like 3.6, 3.7, 3.8 around those regions. All the sellers are out. Is already below seed prices, so the early investors can't dump on you. Trust, good to see you. Anyways, guys, I think we should wrap it up today. I will be live tomorrow as well. Tomorrow, we're going to do a quick 1 hour stream just to speak about FOMC. We're going to speak about the Bank of Japan decision, see what they say. That's going to be happening in the space of 2, 4, 6, in about 6 hours. So we're going to see what the Bank of Japan is going to do, which is going to be very interesting for the markets. Hopefully, they keep rates the same. And then we're going to listen to FOMC, see what Powell has to say, and then I'll go live. And that's it. And then, I'll hopefully, once Ramadan finishes, I'll be live more regularly. But on that note, drop a like if you haven't already done so. I appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving me. Hit the like. It does help me out a lot. My channel has just been fucking stagnant. It has not been growing at all. Maybe because I only live stream. Live streams are one of those where you don't really get a lot of attention in live streams. If I make videos, my channel will go a lot faster. But videos is a bit boring. I prefer live streams because everything is live. And Khalid, appreciate the £10, my friend. Khalid's on a. Well, I appreciate you, Khalid, man. Thank you, bro. Upcoming FOMC Mubarak. Khalid's a G, bro. Appreciate that, my friend Khalid. But yeah, as I was saying, we are going to be live more often. I prefer live streams over, videos, but I will start releasing some videos as well. Maybe some macro videos. I think those ones will do well. Maybe some price action videos. But ultimately, I will see you guys tomorrow. Drop a like on your way out. Take care, everyone. See you guys tomorrow.